So I'm going to say a good morning or a good afternoon or a very pleasant good evening to whichever part of the globe you're joining us from. You're joining us today on the Midler Zoom session, which has been going on since the pandemic of the COVID pandemic since March 2020. And currently, we are on our 105th episode of the Midler Zoom. Midler, which is Meena and Lalit, Meena Ben Kagram and Lalit Soda. We started this, as we said, during the pandemic and going strong and enjoying the journey of chatting to different kinds of people from all walks of life. This brings us to today's very renowned speaker for us on our Zoom session, none other than Dr. Kalpna Ben Karia, all the way from Kenya, and I believe Kisumu and Nairobi. That is where Dr. Kalpna Ben Karia is from. So, before we start, I'm going to briefly introduce the speaker for today. And as I said, we are truly excited to have Dr. Kalpna Ben on our Zoom session. Let me give you a very brief introduction for the guest speaker tonight. Since the age of 9, Kalpna Ben Karia started learning yoga from her father, Dhanjibai Kagram. Thereafter, the age of 18, she studied and went to London for further education in radiology and went to many yoga classes in London. After completing her studies in London, she went to India to Rishikesh and took an intensive yoga teachers training course at the Shivananda Ashram. Yoga has always been her passion, and she never stopped studying to update her knowledge up to today. From 1982 to 1986, she did a television series teaching yoga on the local Kenyan television and published her very first book, Yoga for Health, which was based on a TV series. In 1997, she was appointed as the director of the East African Studies by the British School of Yoga. She taught yoga voluntarily and trained many teachers. In 2010, she had a major car accident, which was very traumatic, but she revived herself through yoga and started teaching in 2014. After meeting the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, who encouraged her to write the second edition of her book, in 2017, she wrote and published her second book, Yoga for Health, Wisdom, and Harmony. She's also received many awards for her presentations at international yoga conferences all around the globe. 2017, she was appointed as the Director for East African Studies by the International Federation of Yoga Professionals in New Delhi. Presently, she conducts voluntary classes and online teacher training courses and is the co-founder for Yoga Foundation and the Yulu Yoga for Alliance Yoga Certification. She's also been teaching the HRE for Hindu Council of Kenya Kisumu branch since 17 years in the hometown of Kisumu, Kenya. So this is none other than our Dr. Kalpna Ben Karia, who has actually agreed to come on our Zoom session to honor our Midler Zoom platform. Before we go on to Dr. Karia's session and we start a question answer, we move on this session only after a green light is given to us by Mrs. Meena Ben Kagram, one of the co-founders of Midler Zoom. If we say she's the Iron Lady behind the Midler Zoom sessions. So I would like to welcome her to give a formal welcome to our Dr. Karia and give us a kickstart to the Zoom session. Meena Ben, Jai Shri Krishna, Global Namaste to you.
Namaskar. Jai Shri Krishna, Kalpna Ben. Kalpna, this is for you. And this is for you. And welcome. Welcome to our Zoom session. And this is for you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. It's really
Welcome.
nice. Very honored. Thank you so much.
Global Namaste to all. Jumbo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever, which part of the world you are. Welcome to the flamingo city of Nakuru, where Lake Nakuru is famous for wildlife and flamingos. Nakuru County is the one where world famous fastest runners like Eliud Kipchoge is born. We have very old Hyrex Museum and world famous crater too. Nakuru is the fastest progressing city in the world. My cute cousin, Dr. Lalit, and myself, Minla, Zoom, are super excited to welcome you here all. And here who have joined on Zoom and on Facebook Live. Best you welcome to my little loving sister-in-law, Kalpu Karia Kagram. And she is the one who inspires me all the time. Can't wait to learn new things from you, Kalpna ji.
Thank you, Coach.
We
Sorry.
Let me introduce to you our backbone of this session, MC Dr. Lalit Soda. He's a professional speaker, chiropractor, and author. He recently launched new book and called Mahaprabhuji 84 Pathaks, and he is a recipient of many prestigious award. Before I do, this is the one which is a newly been published by him, and this was the first one which I used to show about the Pushti Maragya. Both are really informative. Congratulations, Lalit.
Thank you.
I have not officially congratulate you on Zoom for launching it. It was a really nice function.
Thank you. Thank you, Minaben. Thank you.
To you, Lalit. And Lalit, this is for you.
Oh, I was wondering, where is my har? After all these sessions, I get a har today. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, audience. Thank you, Minaben. It's over to Dr. Karia. But you know what? This is an outstanding session. So much to learn because I am curious. Kalpna, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to introduce whatever you want to say on this session about Minla, and then we quickly go on to our question answer session. So if I can give you about a minute and a half, and then we'll indulge into questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, I really thank Minla, Meena Bhabi, and Lalit Bhai for inviting me today for this wonderful, wonderful session. It has been a very long-waited session because I always told Bhabi, when am I coming on Minla? You're inviting so many people. But eventually today I am there, and I'm really, really privileged to be here, with you all. So thank you so much wholeheartedly, and God bless you all so much, because honestly, my actual inspiration has been my Bhabi, Meena Bhabi, since childhood. So, we've had a long journey together, and just in 1 minute, thank you all very much for inviting me today, and I hope I can meet up with your expectations.
Of course. As they say, the truly amazing moments are always awaited for. And I think this is the moment we were all waiting for, that it will happen today. So we are truly delighted to have you. And we say that beautiful souls like yourself, Meena Ben, I think we are all meant to come on this earth to connect and to meet and create a wonderful journey. And I think today that is happening. So truly delighted to have you on our Minla Zoom, Kalpna Ben.
Thank you
Let me embark on my questions for you, because I can't wait to get this information from you.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, through conversation and through a lot of discussions, we talk about breathing, and I know you are really big on this particular topic, and we made today's session on universal breathing leading to health and success. So tell me and tell the audience, enlighten us, first by introducing what do you mean by that? Why do we have to breathe to success? And secondly, there is an amazing Fibonacci way of breathing. There's this amazing type that you're going to tell us about. So let's start first with the breathing, and then you give us your techniques of how you're doing it. Over to you.
Yeah, with bowing down to my guru, and Dr. Jainish is also here online, whom I've learned a lot from, is also a part of our audience today. We're going to be talking about universal breathing. It is not a pranayam, but when we are sent in this universe, if you see a baby breathes with, it's called the 3-step rhythmic breathing. A baby breathes with 12, it's the rhythm, it's called the TVR. The technique is that the chest and abdomen both have to move synchronizingly up and down, right? Inhale, expand, exhale, you contract. And that's the technique. The volume should be equal in the chest and abdomen both. And the rhythm should be 12 breaths per minute. Now, when a child is small, it's, we have sent here with this rhythm by the universe, by God, right? We've been sent here. But why do we have problems? Why have we become unsuccessful in our business, in our health, in our relationships? Everything boils down to the breath, because breath is so important, but we forget. Now, we don't forget to eat, we don't forget to drink, we're so much engrossed in that, but we forget the main aspect of our life is breathing. And when you die, they check your breath and it's gone. So life is the breath is the main prana. But this is also designed by a very, very great mathematician. He is the one who has revealed a lot about how the universe is working on this breathing, and that's called the Fibonacci sequence, and how our breath should be. But what's happened is 12 breaths, 18 breaths when the child is a little bit, active, and then 36 breaths per minute when it's really crying or, doing. But it has to be in this rhythm. And if you really watch, all the animals breathe at this rhythm. All the plants breathe in this rhythm. The universe breathes in this rhythm. But so if we want to connect to the universe and the universal subconscious power, then or any divine souls or anywhere, we have to connect them through our breath. And we have to align through our breath. But if they are breathing at 12 breaths per minute and we are breathing at 27 breaths per minute, or let's say 16 breaths per minute, then we're not in alignment. You see, now if I need a connection of the wire, I need to connect to the right cord, isn't it? Otherwise, the wire and this equipment is useless. Similarly, wherever we want to connect to the universe, we have to have this rhythm of breath in line, in alignment, and then everything will go successful in your life. But just because of not being so. Now, I'll just take you through a very quick PowerPoint presentation of the Fibonacci sequence, if with your permission.
Sure. I think you're already made a co-host. Is that correct?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so you can share the presentation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're all logged in from all over the globe. Keep yourself glued to the chair. This is a very interesting PowerPoint presentation on the Fibonacci sequence of breathing, and Dr. Karia is going to talk us through how we can do that. Dr. Naved?
Okay. And in fact, this PowerPoint is made by Dr. Jainish. Dr. Jainish, you can highlight him. Thank you so much for all your teachings as well. Dr. Jainish is also there. So, okay, we come to the main thing. What is, I don't know how many of you have heard of the Fibonacci sequence, but the Fibonacci is our divine blessings from Tavariaji, who is our teacher. We start this session. So he says man is a 3 body brain system, which is conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. Now, overview. What is TVR? What is the rhythm? What is creation? What is operations? So TVR, as I just told you, the technique, the volume, and the rhythm is based on the Fibonacci sequence, a strong pattern of sounds, words, or musical notes that is used. And then what is this rhythm? Now, what is Fibonacci sequence, and what is the golden ratio? Because of time, the Fibonacci sequence is the 1, 2, 5, 8, 13, and it goes on and on and on to millions and billions and billions. Similarly with the golden ratio. Now, I'm scrolling very fast because of time, otherwise. So you see, you have 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, then you bring the 3 down, and 2 plus 1. So you keep on bringing the upper numbers down, and it keeps on and on and on, and ultimately it comes to 1 is to 1.1681, right? If you keep on doing the ratio of it, the ratio keeps on. And that is how, when you keep on drawing inside every triangle and you keep on cutting that triangle, it comes to the golden spiral, because everything moves in the golden spiral. The universe is moving with the golden spiral. Our human bodies have the golden ratio from the navel to the floor. This is how our from the navel to the floor, you see how our hands, and has any of you ever noticed how our body is designed? But it is all on a ratio. That is why it's all symmetrical. That's why no two human beings look alike. Like twins also are there, but they still have some differences. So that is all from the navel to floor is 1, and then from the foot is to 1.16. So, and then similarly with our arms, it's 1 is to 1.168. Again, our lower arms from the elbows to the fingers, 1 is to 1.168. Again, looking at the fingers there, and then each and every finger is designed on this as well. The face, why aren't any of the faces similar? We might say God has designed billions and billions of people, not only in this world, but in the whole universe, and millions of universe. But this is the reason. And the ears also, the whole fetus lies in the ears, and that's the golden spiral there. The brain likewise is from the pineal gland, it starts, and all the way to the hypothalamus, the thymus. That is how it goes into it. So more examples of the golden ratio are in the nature now. That was about our own body. Now in the nature, you see the flower petals, the flower petals are, why am I going back?
You might need to scroll down.
Okay, I'll just go down. Sorry, no problem.
Okay.
Flower petals are also, the number of petals in a flower follows the Fibonacci sequence. Famous examples include the lilies, 3 petals, buttercups, all that. The seed heads, same, you see, and how the whole sequence. I'm not going to go into so much detail. The pine cones, ultimately we come to the pine cones and how the pine cones are. Fruits and vegetables. The apple, when you cut, you see the 5 seeds in it. How they are placed? Again, Fibonacci sequence. The tree branches, again, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and it goes on and on and on. The larger the tree, the smaller the plant, it just goes on. And the golden spiral, from the root where the branch starts, it goes on. So the shells, now we all blow the conch shells, but we don't know the reason why we blow the conch shell. The conch shell now raises the frequency. When you blow a conch shell, the conch shell is automatically designed in the golden spiral, and as soon as you blow a conch shell, all the negative energy goes away, because you are aligning with the universal ratio and the universal spiral. Then the spiral galaxies. Now the whole spiral is not just round. We say the sun is in the center and everything moves around. No, it is all on this Fibonacci at the golden spiral. Then the hurricanes, when you see the hurricanes in the ocean, again it goes on that. The animal bodies, same, you can see how 1 is to 1.1681. Again, the insects are also designed that, and this insects reminds me of the, there's a new book I'm writing which should be out soon. It's called The Funeral of an Ant, and this funeral of an ant is all to do with how the smallest, and how the matrix is, and how the Fibonacci sequence is connected to the matrix, and from the little insects to the very massive beings of the universe. And animal flight patterns, again the number of petals shows, you can see all the flowers. When you pick up a flower next time, think of this. When you look at an insect, think of this, how God has designed it. When you look at a conch shell, think of this. Everything you look in life, this, main thing is what? Okay, here, once I finish this, I'm going to tell you what is the secret. There you can see the sun, the planets moving in the conch shell. You see the conch shell? And that's removing the negativity. You're connecting directly. The minute you blow that conch shell before Aarti, did you all know that why you blow conch shell before an Aarti or Puja? Because to connect, straight away it connects to the golden spiral. So you get that positive energy. Then the DNA molecules. Now, even the microscopic realm is not immune to Fibonacci. The DNA molecules measures 34 angstroms along with 21 angstroms, and with each full cycle of its double helix spiral. These numbers 34 to 21 are numbers in the Fibonacci series, and the ratio is 1.619, which comes approximately to 1.6180339. To that precision, look at that. The DNA cells even are on that. So, and then of course the great buildings, the architectural buildings are all designed on this. And then we come to the swing which you swing in. If it's not designed on this, you'll fall off your swing. Then the musical system, the piano, the flute, the tabla, everything is on this spiral. And now why did did you know why the Mona Lisa painting was so famous? Did anybody know? Does anybody out there know why did it become so famous? Who was the painter of? Who was the painter? Lalit Bhai, do you know who was the painter of?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes, Leonardo da Vinci. Now, why did it become so famous? Anybody can say? They say, oh, it's painted in such a way that Mona Lisa's eyes are rotating and she looks at you at every direction. Correct? That's what a layman would say. But what is the mathematics behind it?
The Fibonacci system.
Exactly. It was all on 1 over x is equal to x over 1 minus x. So all mathematics, the golden section. And that is the 1:1.618. That is how it was designed. And that's why now everybody uses, many people uses the Apple iPhone, correct? Now we say, why did you ever think, why did Steve Jobs become so famous? Why did he become so successful? He didn't have anything. If you read the biography of Steve Jobs, he didn't have nothing. But why did he become so famous? Because he went to some rishis in the Himalayas, so he got this Fibonacci sequence and the golden spiral. And it's not that some people say, oh, he was eating an apple, he cut an apple, he had a bite, and he thought, oh, let me just name my company. No, there was a very, very big, a secret behind this and behind his success. The secret is the logo of Apple is on the Fibonacci sequence and the golden spiral. See how many circles, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. And then the apple was drawn in the middle, and where everything went, it was totally designed for that. And that's due to his success. So we see all in rhythm. This is all in rhythm. Now, to come to our breathing. The golden ratio is A plus B over A is equal to A over B is equal to pi. In 3-step rhythmic breathing, the TVR breathing, we breathe in for 3 seconds. I'll put the music. We're going to do that for 1 minute, and then we go to it's 1, 2, 3. You exhale 5, 6. So you inhale for 3 seconds. You exhale for 2 seconds. So breathe out is B. So 3 plus 2 divided by 3 is equal to 5 over 3. 5 over 3 is equal to 1.666 is equal to 1.618, if you really like. So that is the reason our ratio of our breath is in synchronization with the universal breath. And that's the reason. So what do you mean by creation? Create without repeating. So when it's the Fibonacci, the golden spiral, your breath is creating without repeating. It's never similar, it's progressive, it's spiral type, without effort. And it has to be done with perineum pulling, because all your energy has to be risen to the pineal gland. Where do you pull that energy from? From the pineal gland, which is the first center, the moving center. But that's another very long. So This is what you do, and that is it. Now, very, very quickly I went through it. I'm going to stop sharing now. Okay, so you saw in 5 minutes I tried to finish a day's workshop. Because we
Sure,
take
sure.
the whole day.
That was outstanding. How the Fibonacci system has been used in various different aspects, and you've talked about these amazing, successful people, Leonardo da Vinci, who painted Mona Lisa, and then Apple. My God! So they've all had this secret with them. That's outstanding. Now, tell me one thing, Kalpna. I know you initially showed us the photo of the founder of the Fibonacci system.
Karia, he's not the founder of Fibonacci sequence, but he's the founder. He gave us the breathing technique. He showed us that how this is connected with the Fibonacci sequence and the breathing technique. He is the one. He's no more there. He's already, but. He is the one who brought, and he's the one who has designed all this music, all our breathing techniques, because we do the refining breath, we do the 3-step rhythmic breathing, and how the rhythmic breathing is the one who brought it up. Very, very divine guru. That's, yeah.
Yes. So I understand you're going to take us through a breathing sequence right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you do that now so we can get an experience of it?
All right. Okay. So now what you all are going to do, I'm going to show you a little bit. Okay, one hand on the chest, one hand on the abdomen, and then I'm going to put the music on. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 is expand. Remember the technique is expanding, and then 5, 6 you contract, but don't move your body. It's only your chest, and it's your normal breathing. Remember, it is not a pranayam. This is 24 hours a day. You should breathe this way. So one hand on the chest, one hand on the abdomen. I'll keep the music. It's no mouth, only nose breathing. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale. For just, you give me 3 minutes or 2 minutes, you all will close your eyes and follow the music, and you will. Okay. Can you hear the music? Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale, inhale, 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 exhale, exhale, inhale, 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 exhale, exhale. Focus on your breath. Only your breath. Listen to your breath. Be in the present moment with your breath. This brings you into the present moment. Stop that pendulum from moving into the past and future. Be in the present moment and connect yourself to the breath of the universe. Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale. Feel your breath. Feel the moment of your prana. This is not just air. It is your prana rotating in the golden spiral from your heart to your abdomen. From your abdomen to your heart, feel it. Feel the technique. Feel the volume of the prana. And feel the rhythm. 12 breaths per minute. Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale. Inhale, just feel it in the present moment. You are in the present moment. Everything resides in your breath. Be with it. Connect it to the universe. Connect it to any way you want to. Anything you want to. All affirmations will come into reality. When you connect to the universe with its breath, the universe listens to you. Feel it. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale. Expand, expand, expand. Contract, contract. In, out, out. Stop now, very gently and slowly. Just deep breath in, and you can open your eyes and feel it. Thank you. How was?
Yeah, very soothing and relaxing, and you think you're at a systematic level of breathing. That's how I felt.
And you felt in the present moment?
Correct.
So we always talk about the present moment, but we don't know how to be in the present moment. That pendulum is always going, yesterday and tomorrow and past and future. But being in the present moment is so important. And this 24 hours a day, if we connect, then this is the present moment. This brings you into the present moment all the time. Then you're always happy, because happiness is in the present moment. Happiness is not in the past. Happiness is not in the future. It is the present moment. But if you keep on thinking about the past and future, you are not in the present moment. And that's why Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he who thinks of me at the time of death, come to my abode. What is that? He who thinks of me in his breath. But if you're thinking of 100 other things, past and future, you're never going to his abode. So in any religious aspect you are in, think of the present moment and you will reach that.
That's very good. Now, a quick question that leads me from our discussions that we have had. How did you personally get involved, or how did you come into touch with this method of breathing, and how did you pursue your studies with this, the Fibonacci system?
Very nice question. Actually, many years back, Tavariaji has written a book, Total Health, Total Success Through Breathing. And one of my students, she came to me, she's Gujarati, and she said, English book che mane nathi avarti, and it was thin, it's just a thin book. It says, Tame amati karavo kaik. Imagine how the universe works. And since childhood, I was always hankering for the correct way. I was doing pranayams, okay, fine, and teaching pranayams, but I always thought there's something lacking there. And what is that lacking? What is the lacking? So the universe is so merciful. God is so merciful. So he sent this, and in form of her name is Pomo, and then she gave me that book, and I was teaching through that book, but I didn't have this music and all that. I was reading that book and teaching a few things through the book. Then when I went to India, and at the back there were a few addresses, so I tried to get in touch with the people. And when I went to Rajkot, then I went to the center. Of course, eventually, first time I didn't get in touch with anyone. The second time I did, and then I also got in touch with here Dr. Janish Pai, who's been highlighted. And Dr. Janish Pai was doing, he's an expert in aura scanning. He does aura scanning with the BioWell machine, which he's even given me one, so we even do it here. And so he was doing that, and Janish Pai is there. So when I went to learn all this, and then I was reading a lot, but then so he was doing so, and I left this subject aside, and I said, oh my God, aura scanning, I always wanted to do it, tame maru karso. So he said, okay. So he did my aura scan, and he called somebody else and he said, na avite na ho, and he saw Janish Pai, you're there, you can say it. He saw all the chakras in alignment, and then then again he called somebody else, Amish ji, and he said that chakras came by that line. He said, "What have you been doing? Are you wearing something?" I said, "No, just the crystal." So anyway, to cut it short, then from him, and then of course going to Rajanbai and going to India to Madhapur, and learning more and more and more from many of the, so that's how I got into it more. And then of course I kept on studying more because there's so many discourses by Tawari ji, and I downloaded all of them, the big books, and I kept on studying about it day and night, because I thought this is it. This is what I have been looking for in the yoga studies throughout my life. Yoga is not just physical exercise. Yes, I do teach physical exercises every day, but it's much more to it. It's to link with the Supreme. And how do you link with the Supreme? With your breath. And how? Through the 3-step rhythmic breathing is what you're trying to link to the Supreme. That is what it is. So that's how I got into it. Okay.
That's very nice, very good. And what an amazing journey to get to your stage where you are. But we have Dr. Janish Patel with us. Dr. Janish Patel, welcome. A global namaste to you, and welcome on the Minla Zoom platform. We would love to hear from you about this wonderful Dr. Karia and how you got into contact with her and what is your interaction with her. We need to unmute you. Can you unmute yourself if you can? And otherwise, Minabin, we can unmute him.
Hi. Hello.
Welcome.
When I meet the Kalpna Ben, I just see her aura scanning, and just see all the alignment, the chakras. I just ask him, because I'm practicing all the breathing exercise, but I'm not seeing that balancing all the chakras. First time I seen in my aura scanning journey, and I just think that, okay, how much you balancing your aura without the breathing, because most important thing is how in the busy world you can balancing your inner all chakras. So this is the refining exercise, and 3 RSAB means 3 TVR techniques, breathing techniques. So with breathing techniques, the journey is more easy to me and also the Kalpna Ben. We had just met at the Rajkot and just connecting him. We are exchange our knowledge each other, nothing else. Because this is not my knowledge, this is a universal knowledge, and universal meet to each other and balancing how we can connect the nature.
That's amazing. That's very good. And you're based in Rajkot, is that correct?
No, I'm based in Anand, Gujarat.
Oh, in Anand, in Gujarat. Wonderful. Well, wonderful. Thank you for coming on our Zoom session. Hang around with us. We might bring you back in depending on the questions and how the journey goes today. So my next question to you, Kalpna, would be, you are talking about the Fibonacci rhythm breathing and everything. If one wanted to get more acquainted to this particular topic and learn about it, how would one go about doing that?
Well, I'm in the middle, as I said, my new, not the 3rd edition of Yoga for Health, but the Funeral of an Ant. It's called the Funeral of an Ant. That's all about all this Fibonacci sequence. It's all about the matrix, how we even are like little ants in this world, but how an ant even has a similar, so it's all on that. That book should be launched by next year, hopefully, if I finish it.
The Funeral of an Ant.
The Funeral of an Ant. The name of the book is The Funeral of an Ant.
That's a very unique name. How did you get that name, Funeral of an Ant?
You know how I got that name? One day I was just sitting after yoga session and I saw one ant, a dead ant, and then all the other ants were rushing like as if they're talking to each other, bringing, and all of them were carrying it. And I took the lens and I started looking at it, and they were all taking it somewhere, So then I thought, they are doing the funeral, and they were literally taking it, and as if they were going to bury that ant, and how they, So, and then it was so similar to. Then I started doing more and more research and all, and this, it's all based on more research, and that's how I came to that.
The name. Okay. So, and that book, as you say, Funeral of an Ant, describes the Fibonacci sequence of breathing and everything?
Yes, it
Is there
does.
one place where you can learn from as to how to do it by reading? But is there anybody who teaches you the system?
No,
Because
I teach regularly. In fact, every Tuesday, 7 to 8 in the morning, if you go on my Facebook page, every Tuesday, 7 to 8 in the morning, at Kenyan time, we have a totally on this Fibonacci sequence, the breathing, the total breathing, the phase exercise. There's so many refining, how to refine and take the energy to the pineal gland, all that we're doing. And every day, when in the class, we do something or the other. So every morning, I have my classes. And all the classes are recorded on Facebook. They're also with my Ulu Yoga students because they do the teachers training course, and we have notes, and so we teach them all the time. So that's
Sure.
how.
So if one wanted to get onto your Facebook page and to learn this on every Tuesday morning, are these courses that you offer, are they voluntary, or is there a fee for this particular thing?
No, there's no fees. It's voluntary. I've never ever charged for yoga. I was always, so it's all voluntary.
Okay, so now if one wanted to get in touch with you or get connected with your courses that you're doing, how can one touch base with you? Through Facebook?
Yeah, no, you can just WhatsApp me, call me, and I'll send you all the links. And then we have with Ulu Yoga, we have the link, and all the students are in that. With Yoga Foundations, we have other students. And then these are all certification courses they do as well, and which are absolutely, though they're Alliance Yoga and people pay like 2,000, 3,000, pounds for Alliance Yoga certification, but we are doing voluntarily.
That's outstanding. Now, two questions, and both I want to keep them in my mind so I don't forget. First one is, would you mind putting your contact details on the chat box so that the viewers can get a contact number, contact detail from yourself, or can approach Meena or myself on Facebook, and we can convey the message to them. But it would be nice if you can list your contact details on the chat box so everybody can get a view of it.
Okay.
And the second question, okay, I'll let you finish that first, and then we can head on to the second question.
13448888. Okay, they can take it's Kenyan, so anyway, okay, it's gone. Okay, yep, it's on the check.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah. So that's good. It's on the chat box. Thank you. Meena Ben, thank you for giving her number to me, but I do have her number. Thank you. So that's very kind. And my next question.
Yep.
Why in this day and age of Kali Yuga, where people want to make a penny from anything, and you're giving this outstanding service, totally voluntary, why?
Because it's not my knowledge. It's coming from the universe. So if I sell it, then I'm stealing. So I don't want to, it's for everyone. It's a universal knowledge. It is not something which you sell. Knowledge is not to be sold. Ma Saraswati Devi never sold her knowledge. She gives. And it is not ours. It's just coming from within. We are just a mediator to just transport that knowledge. So
what a noble way of thinking. How nice. Very good. And I think this is where we need people like Dr. Karia, who are there for the well-being of the community at large, not just focusing her work in Kisumu or Kenya, but globally going around on the social media platform. And I think you're making the best use of the social media platform to spread the word to the maximum number of people. And that's very, very kind. And I think for that, whoever has logged in with us on this particular Zoom session, I think open your videos, and we need to give her a big round of applause for doing such amazing work. Recognition is necessary. Kalpna, I'll tell you why. Because this is where it inspires other people to do something like you're doing. Because giving your service at no cost, you're learning, you're spending your time to educate yourself, and then you're sharing it out. So really, I think that's very credible and definitely worth an applause. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. There was a Zoom message a chat message that came through Ma, could you share your Zoom details? So I'd only request everybody that if you take her phone number, WhatsApp her, and she will send all the details about the links, about the courses, etc. So rather than addressing an individual an individual concern, I think just take the number down, message her, and she'll send you all the details. Yes, this is amazing. I'm getting such amazing messages over here. That how wonderful work you are doing, Kalpna Ben. So that's very good. Okay, so she needs to share these details on. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm sure she'll put them on the chat box again. But yeah,
We have a group, Prana Shakti group. It's called Prana Shakti because of one of our courses was Prana Shakti, and many of the students also hear from it. So we can put anybody wants, they can just join the group. And
sure.
we have all interactions going on in the group.
Sure. So this is wonderful. Now I just want to shift the gear towards something else. I know you're an author. You've written book number 1, Yoga and Health. Number 2, then you've written this, The Funeral of an Ant. And there's another edition, a 3rd edition of Yoga and Health coming pretty soon. Tell us a little bit about that, the 3rd edition.
Okay, I'll just go to the first one was in 1980 to 85. This was actually, let me do the first one to go to the 3rd one.
Sure.
This was inspired to me, when we were doing our television series in the 1980s, Meena Ben was with me on the series as well. And Meena Ben said, she's the one who said, I had my script. So he said, a script na kagadi am thai, book laki nakne. It was just came out like that. And then I said, okay. And then I wrote this one and in 1980. And then when Modi ji came and I showed him my first book, he said, "Ato bahut juni che, tame kem navi nathi lagta." And it didn't occur to me I should do a new one. So then I did a revised edition in which I have the mudras, the bandhas, the chakras, and also Super Brain Yoga. Because for Super Brain Yoga in Dubai Yoga Conference, Ayush Conference, I got an award. So then I thought, let me also put Super Brain Yoga. It's really, really good for children, and especially dyslexia children, underprivileged children and all that. So that, and then now 3rd one, I'm just showing. So then after this, I've run out of these books and I'm having a retreat, yoga retreat in Rishikesh from the 4th to the 11th. That is all totally based on the Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio. It is called the Inner Awakening Retreat. This is the one. If anybody does want to join, we still have few slots remaining. Okay, yeah. So this is the retreat we're going to be doing, and everything is inside it. If anybody wants, I can. Here you can see that we're going to be doing the first day. Everybody, Dr. Jenish will do aura scanning for everyone, and then the last day. So it's a 7-day retreat, and then you can you yourself can see the difference, how the auras have changed, how your whole body system have changed, because this BioWell system is so good that it detects everything. And then there's another one, Nadi Tarangi. So that's what, these are. So that's what we're going to be talking about, Uparnas, Pranas, everything. There are quite a lot of topics. Also visits to Nilkant, because it's at Fulchati, which is near Nilkant. So on the banks of Maganga. Anyway, that's beside the point. So that is where we are going to be teaching a certification, the whole thing on it. And since I didn't have any books, I said, instead of people writing notes, why don't I just do a 3rd? So now we have done the 3rd one, which I'll again show you on the screen. This is the 3rd one, which today is very good, auspicious, because today is the day I just finished all the corrections, everything, and we're going to be, so we're going to be launching it there. And then Funeral of an Ant, still things remaining, which we will launch it later. Yeah, so that's the 3rd one. So
very nice. So this is good. And when you launch these books on yoga and health, how accessible are they, and where can one get them from?
Okay. Again, they are free on Amazon. You can download. You can just get the e-copy. But the books are at bookshops. I distribute it to many bookshops here and some publishers as well. So they are available to quite.
So are they available locally in Kenya or all over?
Locally in Kenya, 90% of the bookshops keep them.
Okay, wonderful. That's very good. And we're getting such lovely checkbox messages and all the praises that you're getting. But I'm a little jealous with one of the messages you got from a common friend that I know. She calls you a soulmate, Shyama Kotecha. My God, I've known Shyama since I was such a small kid. And no message for me, Shyama, but that's okay. I don't take it personally. So wonderful. Yeah, she's a wonderful lady herself. My next question to you would be, you're writing all these books. You've written the third edition. You've writing the funeral of an aunt. Where do you see yourself going from this point? You're doing a retreat in Rishikesh, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So is this your first retreat that you're holding on? Sorry, Lalit, your darling. Thank you, Shama. I got your message.
So, yes,
So this is your first ever retreat. Is that correct?
outside Kenya, first one. I have had retreats here in Kenya. Many
Okay.
have been taking them around, lots of students, but outside Kenya is the first one.
Wonderful. And I think this is going to be quite a challenging one, an interesting one, doing it out of Kenya. And I wish you all the best. Tell us, you've given us the dates, you've given us what it is all about, and how many are there international people coming? Are the local Indians who are going to be attending your classes? Tell us a little bit about that.
Actually, 90% are international students. Many of them are online here now with me,
Wonderful.
and there are many local students as well. And on the first day, that's the 4th of October, the IFYP just approached me and they said they would like to have their convention. So on the 4th, we'll start off with the convention, which there'll be a lot of local people from India who will be joining. But then whether they join in later on or not, that's up to them. But already 35 people have already registered, and we're already on the group, and that's, so, right, from international group, the 135 people are from all over the world. They are coming, Italy, Spain, Greece, Germany. I mean, you name it, and there's Singapore. And,
Yeah, you're not just a Kenyan celebrity; you're a global celebrity.
I'm not a celebrity at all, Baba. No.
But it's nice. It's nice people are attending your courses from all over the world. That's good. So my question still remains: where do you see yourself going from here?
Okay, fine. I don't see myself going anywhere because I try to be in the present moment. Wherever the universe takes me, I'm there. So this I'd manifested when I was in Cancun last year for this, meditation retreat, and I said I would like to do this, and it happened, and it just happened. So when you manifest something, it becomes your reality. But I try to be in the present moment. Whatever comes, let it come.
I like that. I like that thought process. However, I still indulge in the same question because you manifested this retreat and it has come. And we all know, and I truly believe that when you ask the universe with a clean heart and you work towards it, it happens because the universe delivers. What are you manifesting next?
Honestly, I'm not manifesting anything. Okay, I translate the Bhagavad Gita, Babaji's lectures every morning, and then we have a Bhagavad Gita group. There are about 450, participants there, and we post it every day. So because I'm writing every morning from 4 to 5 is my writing time for Bhagavad Gita translations. And so maybe I would like to publish that one, the translations.
There you go. So there is something manifesting there. That's very good. Now that changes our direction a little bit. But before we go into that direction, we have this wonderful gentleman who's also joined us. The senior gentleman, I think the most senior gentleman on this show, who's been a very well-wisher and a well-supporter of Minla. It's Dr. Manubhai Chandaria. Manubhai, welcome on Minla Zoom.
Namaste, Manubhai. Namaste.
You need to unmute yourself. We're going to give you 1 minute to say your wonderful words.
Thank you very much. Very interesting subject, totally unknown to me until now.
Yes. The Fibonacci sequence was unknown to me also, so I've learned a lot today.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, Manubhai. Thank you for always honoring our sessions. Kalpna, This is the question. You said you're manifesting the translation of the shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita. So now shifting gear towards that topic of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna Janmashtami has just gone. What a wonderful, auspicious day when our Supreme Lord took birth many thousand years ago. And you are very closely connected with the ISKCON movement. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. So you actually have an initiated name also. Is that correct?
Correct.
And just for the awareness, who is your Guru Maharaj?
Radha Govind Maharaj.
Radha Govind Maharaj. Wonderful. Is that the same Radha Govind Maharaj who is also whose disciple is also Lal Govinda Das?
I don't know.
Okay. This is the thing, when your guru inspires you with these kind of things, your guru is a great inspiration for you. Would you agree with me? Yes. So that has probably inspired you to write all these translations of the Bhagavad Gita. I know during COVID, during the pandemic, you used to teach a lot of Bhagavad Gita, a lot of yoga on social media. Now, once again, there's learning of the shlokas and translating them. Where did that come from?
Okay, that's not come from ISKCON. It's not part of ISKCON, let me tell you.
Okay.
Babaji, Tavariyaji was very closely connected with Babaji. It's Sri Brahmavedant Babaji. His lectures are in Gujarati. He's from Madhupur, and they are mind-blowing. Like, that's again search of the truth. I've been searching for the reality in Bhagavad Gita because I've been teaching and I've been learning Bhagavad Gita again since I was 9 years old. My father used to, teach us all. But when I went to Madhupur about learning all this, then I thought I was going to meet Babaji, but he had already left his body, and we were listening to his lectures, and they're in Gujarati. All his lectures are in Gujarati, but he's a very, very low-key person. He doesn't want publicity. People didn't know about him. But the lectures were just the first time I ever read, I said, oh my God, it's nothing to do with religious aspect of it. It is to do with your inner self, your body connection with the Supreme. And he talks about this three-step rhythmic breathing because he was close. And he talks about the rhythm of life. And day to day, he's just portraying how to use the Bhagavad Gita in your business, how to use the Bhagavad Gita in your relations to make your relations strong, how to use the Bhagavad Gita, of course, in spirituality. But spirituality is not just going and praying to God and doing puja. It is much, much deeper to it. If God is in, and he says, see God in your heart first, then see God in everyone's heart. If you see God in everyone's heart, you are not going to, have this rag and dvesh against anyone, because that is the main thing which is causing all this chaos in the world. Rag, dvesh, irsha, lust, anger, greed, jealousy, all that. And that will go away from you totally. And by every day translating it and trying to grasp it, I've realized, and now with many books, because I prefer writing. I don't like the typing business.
Yes.
So because I think our mudra, which connects us to the left brain and where we store our memory, and that's why writing is very important. So, that's really transforming like many things in my life, outlook of many things, which even no matter how many religious aspects you go to, but it's not religion, it is spirituality. And people don't understand who Krishna is. Krishna is the divine fragments within you. Arjun is inside you. You are Arjun asking these questions to the divine fragment within you. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvashachaham Riddhi Sanivishto Mattas Mitir Gnanamapoham Anamcha. So Sarvashachaham Riddhi Sanivishto. I am seated in everyone's heart. From me comes remembrance and from me comes forgetfulness. So people forget that, and we are not seeing God in other people's heart, and that's why we have this jealousy, envy, greed, fights because of that. But if we try to connect with our breath and the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, they're all together, because what is the Bhagavad Gita? 12 yoga systems. What is yoga? Yoga is to link. And of course, there was which we say, before aham vishwanaro bhutva praninam deham ashrita pranapan samayuktam, the 5 types of breath: pran, apan, saman, udan, and vayam. These are the 5 breaths, 5 vayus, and that is what is all talking about Bhagavad Gita. So Babaji's each lecture is enlightened and highlighted. Somebody it's in Gujarati, so I was just translating them in English, and now I feel that publication, that after the that's my future, but I don't know whether it'll happen or not, or because it's a very, very deep this thing to go dive into. And
It's certainly manifested into your mind. So I'm
Yeah.
sure in the next Zoom session that we have in about a year or so, we'll be talking about that book of yours. I have, you know what, time is always a problem when we have such wonderful speakers, but I still want to hold on to you for a couple more questions. Is that okay with you?
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Okay. So my question to you would be, obviously, you have met the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, and he truly inspired you to write the second edition. Tell us a little bit, how was the experience of meeting him? Because he's very much in favor of yoga, introduced the International Yoga Day. So he's very much into the breath and the yoga for health and well-being. Tell us your experience with him.
Honestly, it is such a great experience, and he's such a great personality. His energy is so vibrant that when I I think Meena Ben was also there. We've all put in different rooms, and so when I went to meet him, I bowed down, I touched his feet, and he said, "No, mane page nahi lago. Tame marathi mota cho." He said, I said, "No, because you are much at a higher level." And he didn't want me to touch his feet. He just moved, and then he said, "What are you doing?" And at that time, I got this opportunity because I was the chairperson of Hindu Council, so that's how I got the opportunity. So anyway, I showed him, and I went with my first book, and I really wanted to show him because he's so much into yoga. So he said, "What is a Tamisukur?" So I said, "I teach HRE in schools, and I'm teaching yoga, and I published this book." He says this, and he looked at this book, says, "It's wonderful." He took, and he says, "Aa to bahut," and then it is very old. "Aa to bahut juni che, tame kem biji publish nathi karta." So he said, "Why don't you publish a new one?" So I said, "Okay." I mean, and that's it. And then he said that and I said, "But Dame Mam, will you write a message in it?" He says, "Yeah, I'll tell this Suchitra Durai, she was the what do you call, the Indian High Commissioner at that time. So, and she was quite close. And he said, "Okay, I'll give the message to Suchitraji." So even the message he wrote in the book, he had given to Suchitraji. So his message is in my book as well.
Wow. Wow.
So in the next one as well. So then Suchitraji gave me the message. He said, whenever you're publishing. So then this was also like, and she was very nice because the second International Day of Yoga in Nairobi, that is when she launched it during the International Day of Yoga in the public there. So which was a nice, because
Great. Yeah.
Modiji told her. But very nice experience with him. He's a wonderful, wonderful person.
Good. So it's very nice. I mean, meeting people of this caliber who recognize the work you do, and that gives a satisfaction that, hey, look, it's not the work we are doing, not that we want to get noticed for it, but it's work that has been appreciated by a lot of people. So wonderful. Now, one more thing. If you were two more things, actually. Dr. Janish Patel moved a little bit, and I thought I need to ask him, would he do an aura reading for our Prime Minister Narendra Modi and see what aura he comes out with?
Janish bhai, is he there?
What kind of aura would you expect out of our Prime Minister's aura reading? What would you expect?
I think that, but I'm saying that Kalpna Ben's aura is more powerful compared to Narendra Modi. I am saying that because also, of course, that person is very spiritual and doing exercise and only 3 hours sleeping. But Kalpna Ben's mind is upgrade awareness is more to compare to Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi is dedication to Rashtra, dedication to country. So this is one of the seva, but work for others, work for self, and work for work. Kalpna Ben is doing all the three are balancing. So when you're doing the all three balancing, that person's aura is very powerful. So I'm not comment any anymore to Narendra Modi sir,
Sure, sure,
because
sure.
Modi sir is 100% dedicated to work for others.
I really
So
want to come and get my aura reading from you.
okay,
One
most
of these
welcome.
days, very soon.
Come to the
Great.
Most
retreat.
welcome.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Dr. Janish Patel. Kalpna Ben, the next question, maybe the last two I will ask you. If
Yeah.
you were to give a message to the audience today on breath, what is the top three? What are the top 3 points you would give for the audience based on breath?
All right. Now, very nice question. Thank you. You see, I do a lot about you. If Shiv Swarodai, that is all to do. It's the Bhagavad Gita, Ma Parvati, and Lord Shiva. How the people I've taught a whole the time.
Are we freezing? Minabin, is that okay? Yeah. Can you hear me? Kalpna Ben, go ahead.
Yes,
We
I
can.
can. Yeah. Okay. So one nostril is either the left or the right one, right? So, and all the work is done according to the nostrils, right? And if you want to be successful in life, be in the present moment, breathe with the 12-step rhythmic breathing or 18 or 36, and check your breath all the time, and even check your nadis, because which is more predominant, Ida or Pingla. If you just do that, you'll know which is more predominant, and do your work according to whichever is predominant, and that's which will bring you in the present moment. So try and be as much as possible connected to your breath with the 3-step rhythmic breathing, and connected to that will connect you to your inner self, because we are looking for happiness externally, but try and see the divine happiness within you, because you are the reservoir of happiness, and that happiness you can get the treasure through your breath and breath only.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love that. Breathe rhythmically, work with your predominant breath, and stay connected with your breath. And you are the reservoir of your happiness. Wonderful points. I think that was the message, the core message that I think Dr. Karia has given us today about breath is stay connected to your breath. And I think that is so nice. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And any other messages for the audience that you want to give? You've given us your contact details, which is wonderful, so we can get connected. About the retreat, where can we get some information about your retreat that you're conducting in India?
Just call me on my phone, but it's also on my Facebook page, Kalpna Karia, and you can just call me and I can put you on the retreat group. We have so if you would,
Sure.
a lot of things are going to be happening at the retreat. So, and it's really, really not at all a money making. People are just paying for the accommodation, and it's inclusive of everything. So whatever the charge, but it's going to be some eye opener for many people. It's called the inner
We need more and more generous people like you to uplift the whole globe. So thank you for that. I think this definitely is a wonderful quality about yourself of spreading education voluntarily, especially for well-being. I think that's important. Mental and physical well-being is so important these days, and how better but through yoga and through breathing that one can maintain the health and well-being. Dr. Karia, thank you so much for coming on Minla Zoom session. It's been an eye-opening session with the Faboniki sequence, the rhythm of breathing. For me, I've learned a lot, and I'm sure the audience has too. But before the Minla Zoom session comes to an end, we always have our wonderful, very popular Minla Zoom session rapid fire round. Now, this is where we ask you a question, a quick answer. There's about 20 questions here, and we want to finish them off in literally 2 minutes. Are we okay with that?
All right, that's fine.
Good. Now,
I'll try.
so welcome, Dr. Karia, on the Minla Zoom session rapid fire round. And the very first question is breath.
Breathe.
Breathe, breath, yes.
Yeah. Breathe correctly. Do not breathe in the wrong direction.
Yoga.
way of life,
Who inspires you?
my inner guru.
The Fibonacci breathing sequence.
The whole world is designed by that.
A little humorous one. Your favorite street food. Is it vada pav, pani puri, or bhel puri?
No,
None of them?
salad.
Salad. Not even mogo, eh? Okay. Your favorite holiday destination.
Rishikesh.
Lake Victoria.
Yeah, Lake Victoria, the lake beside us, Ma Gangai resides in Lake Victoria. Lord Shiva
Yeah.
resides there.
And you live on the shores of Lake Victoria, don't you?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Tell me a little bit. One word for the town or the city of Kisumu.
Gokulyugam.
Lovely. That you say Gokulyugam, so I'm going to go on to the next question. Krishna.
The all-pervading, all-existing, everything. Krishna means all attractive.
The best way to serve Krishna.
Through serving everyone, because he is in everyone's heart.
Your ultimate spiritual abode. Yours.
To go into my inner self.
One word about the gentleman, Mr. Narendra Modi.
One would, oh God, I have thousands of words about it. Very vibrant energy, high frequency person.
Where do you get your strength from?
From the breath.
Your role model.
Meena Ben.
Nice one. I love that. Vrindavan.
The abode of Lord Krishna, where we always go, connecting to Lord Krishna.
The title, Funeral of an Ant.
The Matrix.
Your ultimate goal in life.
Serve everyone.
Who is the motivational speaker you listen to?
Yeah, Babaji, Brahmavedan Babaji, and Tavariyaji, of course.
I've asked you this question, but I'm going to repeat it. One final message for the audience.
Be in the present moment through your breath.
Wonderful.
Connect to yourself.
Last but not the least, Dr. Lalit Soda's rapid fire round.
Amazing. High frequency, very high frequency.
With the aura, Dr. Dinesh Patel, I hope it's the best aura you're getting from here, right? Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Karia, for coming on to our Zoom session. It was a pleasure and a privilege for both Meena Ben and myself to have such wonderful knowledge shared on the global platform. Thank you very much. And before I say my final thank you, we need the lady of the Minla Zoom to give us the vote of thanks. Meena Ben, the Iron Lady, the inspirer, the strongest personality I know. I think she's even stronger than Indira Gandhi and Margaret Thatcher. So there you go. Meena Ben, the final vote of thanks.
Lalit, you are in good mood.
I certainly am. My aura is bright.
Yes, that it is. Havariya journey to old Jambo. Again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is my pleasant and humble duty to end this session with the heartiest thank you to Manubai, my father, and our heartiest thank you to Kalpna ji. Wow, it was a very informative talk. Kalpo, you come home and we do it together. Thank you all beautiful souls. A Sandisana to all the viewers on Facebook Live and those who have logged in live in this Zoom session. Can't end my thank you without saying big thank you to my cute cousin, Dr. Lalit Soda, and our co-host, Eli Bhai.
Whoa.
Hello.
So, thank you all. Sandisana, good evening to everybody. World, wherever you are, thank you all again and again. Lala Salama.
Okay, so before we go offline, I had a prompt from our Meenabin to ask you, Kalpna, is there a yoga retreat taking place in Kisumu?
We do have that on and off every 3 months or, like that, to near places, because there's such beautiful places around. So,
Connection.
but I'm going to do another, not yoga retreat, but Lake Victoria Yoga Festival next year. It's going to be a festival, so people will so people will come from all over the world, showcase their, this yoga sessions and all that. So
Wonderful.
next.
Okay, that's good. So thank you and keep us informed, keep us posted. Connect with Dr. Karia on Facebook, connect with her on her WhatsApp and get links being sent to you. And we will certainly look forward to this wonderful yoga festival taking place in Lake Victoria. Ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant evening, a pleasant afternoon, or a very pleasant morning to wherever you're coming from. Have a wonderful day. Guys, watch out for our next speaker. We are getting the Bollywood singer coming in. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're just confirming the dates with them. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and a global namaste.
Lalit, 5 minutes. If
Sorry, yeah, we need 5 minutes with Dr. Kalpna Ben.
we are going to